Welcome to Hex and Hush, where the shadows whisper and the truth hides in plain sight. Tonight, we delve into a tale that will make you question the very nature of your existence. Our story follows Daniel, a 34-year-old man living alone, plagued by the terrors of sleep paralysis. But as we'll soon discover, his nightly torments are far more sinister than mere bad dreams. Daniel's life had become a waking nightmare. Each morning, he'd rise from fitful slumber, his body aching with unexplained bruises, his mind clouded by an ever-growing paranoia. The line between dreams and reality began to blur, leaving him desperate for answers. Little did he know, the truth would be far more terrifying than anything his imagination could conjure. As days turned to weeks, strange occurrences multiplied. Furniture would be slightly out of place, keys appearing where they shouldn't be. Daniel would wake to the phantom touch of scratches on his skin, their origin a mystery. But it was the whispers that truly chilled him to the bone. Faint, unintelligible murmurs that seemed to emanate from the darkest corners of his room, always fading just as he jolted awake. His sleep paralysis episodes intensified, evolving into vivid hallucinations. Night after night, he'd lie frozen, helpless, as a shadowy figure loomed over his bed. The weight of its gaze was palpable, leaving Daniel gasping for air when he finally broke free from the paralysis. Driven to the brink, Daniel decided to take matters into his own hands. He set up his laptop, its webcam trained on his bed, determined to capture whatever was tormenting him in the dead of night. The first few recordings were uneventful, just the usual tossing and turning, punctuated by occasional sleep. But on the fourth night, something changed. At precisely 3:44 a.m., Daniel's sleeping form suddenly sat bolt upright. His eyes snapped open, fixing the camera with an unnerving stare. Then, slowly, his lips curled into a smile that was anything but reassuring. It was as if something else had taken control, puppeteering his body while his mind remained locked in slumber. If you saw yourself doing that in your sleep, would you keep recording? Or shut it all down? Let us know in the comments below. As the nights wore on, the recordings grew increasingly disturbing. Daniel's sleep-induced ramblings evolved into coherent whispers, uttering phrases and languages he didn't speak. One particularly chilling night, he pointed to an empty corner of the room, his lips forming the words, "It's coming back." His sleep patterns became erratic, unpredictable. He'd wake to find himself in the kitchen, or huddled in the closet, with no memory of how he'd gotten there. The line between his waking life and whatever was happening in those lost hours grew thinner by the day. Then came the morning that shattered any remaining doubt as Daniel stumbled into the bathroom, his bleary eyes fixated on a handprint smeared across the mirror, far larger than his own. With trembling hands, he rewound the night's footage, his heart pounding as he watched himself rise at 3:44 a.m. and walk towards the bathroom. But there he was, still clearly visible in bed. As this second version of himself entered the frame, the camera glitched and distorted, as if reality itself was rejecting what it saw. Desperate to make sense of it all, Daniel began keeping a journal, scribbling down every fragment of his increasingly vivid dreams. He left his phone recording, hoping to capture any sleep talking that might shed light on his nocturnal activities. What he found instead was far worse. In his dreams, a darker version of himself now lurked at the edges of his consciousness, watching silently, always just out of reach. But it was a sleep-recorded voice note that truly sent shivers down his spine. In the dead of night, his own voice, twisted and distorted, had whispered, "You're not the original. Drop A in the comments if you've ever seen yourself in a dream. Watching you. We'd love to hear your experiences." As Daniel's grip on reality continued to slip, an unexpected encounter brought his private hell crashing into the real world. His neighbor, wide-eyed and visibly shaken, confronted him one morning. She claimed to have seen him standing outside her window in the middle of the night, staring unblinkingly into her home. But Daniel knew with absolute certainty that he'd been in bed all night. The footage proved it. Driven to the edge of sanity, he took drastic measures. 2 cameras now stood sentinel, one in the bedroom, one in the hallway. If there truly was another version of himself stalking the night, he'd catch it on film. And catch it, he did, though the truth would prove far more terrifying than he could have imagined. The footage from that fateful night sent ice through Daniel's veins. At 3:44 a.m., the bedroom camera showed him peacefully asleep, but the hallway told a different story. There, plain as day, another Daniel walked calmly down the corridor. It paused, turning to face the lens with a smile that didn't reach its eyes. Its lips moved, forming words that would haunt Daniel for days to come. "You're almost ready." Desperate for outside confirmation, Daniel set up a live stream for his final night of recording. He shared the link with his closest friend, needing someone else to witness whatever was about to unfold. As the witching hour approached, his friend watched in horror as both versions of Daniel appeared on screen simultaneously. One peacefully asleep, the other standing at the foot of the bed, watching. Then, in a heart-stopping moment, the second Daniel turned and walked directly towards the camera. The feed cut to static, leaving Daniel's friend frantically dialing the police. When authorities arrived at Daniel's apartment, they found it completely empty. No sign of struggle, no evidence of foul play, just an eerie silence and a laptop still recording. But when they reviewed the footage, only one version of Daniel remained, the one who had risen from the bed and approached the camera. In the final frame, this new Daniel looked directly into the lens, a triumphant gleam in his eyes as he whispered, "He's gone. I'm all that's left now." The scariest thing you can lose is your sense of who you are. Like this video if it sent chills down your spine. Subscribe to Hex and Hush for more stories that stay with you, even in your dreams. And don't forget to share your own eerie experiences in the comments below. Stay curious, stay cautious, and always remember, the face in the mirror might not always be your own.